The winter seasons tend to bring a lot of different vacations, whether they're weekend trips to the snow or longer family vacations to escape the cold. It's always just seems to be a time of travel, I find, for people. So I wanted to talk this week about a few tips of how you can protect your home from any, security breaches or burglaries while you're gone on vacation. Welcome back to another episode of Fridays with the Fiddle Fig. I'm John Selby with the Selby team, and this is just something I thought would be important to cover. We all feel like at some point or another we've been subject to some sort of burglar or somebody coming onto your property that you don't want, and so I wanted to talk about a few tips that I take for myself personally when I'm out of town to help protect my home from any sort of unwanted visitors. So the first thing I did, and with modern technology, it's really great, is I actually have a couple cameras that I set up around the exterior of my house just to monitor, it, and also to deter anyone who may be scoping the area out. I have them in visible spots, in the front, in the back, on the side, things like that, so that that they're visible and they're not going to really stop anybody, but they are definitely a deterrent, and it definitely allows me to keep an eye on the property when I'm gone. In case packages get delivered or things like that. The second thing is, it may be counterintuitive, but I would leave your cars approximately where you leave them on an average or normal day. The reason being is, if for some reason there is a bad person or bad people canvassing the area and they notice a change, like for example, you always park your car kind of halfway up the driveway and it's always facing forward, and then you go on vacation, you decide to back your car in and you put it all the way down the driveway and kind of make it look like it's not going to be moved for a long time. Those are indicators to bad people that somebody is going to be going on vacation. The third thing I would probably tell you to do is, if you're expecting any packages, you can either put a hold order at the post office or with like UPS or FedEx or whatever, Amazon, or maybe make friends with your neighbors, have their number, have them have your number, and you can communicate to them. And if you have your cameras, you can see if a package gets delivered. You can text a neighbor or a family member and let them know, and maybe they can put the package inside the house, because another sign of someone not being home for a long time is many packages piling up in the front yard, or your mail piling up in your mailbox, things like that. The fourth thing I would tell you to do, and again kind of falls back to modern technology, is get either a timer or get some sort of smart plug device that can automatically turn on different lights in your house at different times of the day, different times of the week, different things, so that there's a kind of a change inside your house. And it doesn't have to be drastic, but maybe the living room light comes on for a few hours and then goes off. Things like that will help look like there's somebody home or somebody watching the property. And lastly, if you are going to be taking a really long trip, like I would say a week or longer, look back to that neighbor or that family member that you have the phone number for and see if maybe they wouldn't mind moving your car for you in your driveway a few times. Maybe they move it up a little bit, maybe they move it back a little bit, things like that, or even maybe they park their car in your driveway or something along those lines to just create an additional change. That way it doesn't look like everything's stagnant on the property and it could be a target. So as you can see, there's many tips you can take to protecting your house, and it all depends on how long you're going to be gone. And you can take all, you can take some, you can take none. Really up to you. But we thought it would be informational and helpful. If you're planning a trip, you might be able to plan to protect your house while you're gone too. So that's it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and check back next week for another great episode.